Animals are some of nature's most beautiful creations, but sometimes these precious creatures end up in unfortunate situations that they just can't escape. But luckily for them, there are kind and brave people out there who are willing to help. So join us as we look at 100 of the most heartwarming animal rescues that'll make you cry. This poor little duck was buried under the snow, freezing to death. Luckily for him, these kind people noticed his cries for help and rescued him in time. These kayakers were having a good time together when they noticed a poor crow drowned in the water. They immediately moved their boat towards it and took it out of the water. The crow was in bad shape, but thanks to these heroes, it survived. Snakes are often thought of as dangerous, but the reality is that they're animals just like the rest of us. Luckily for this snake, these brave men saved it from drowning and returned it to a safe habitat.
बहुत ही ज़्यादा टफ। तो दोस्तों, इन तीनों सांपों को यहाँ पर मैंने पर्यावरण में
This bat, also known as a flying fox, was found alone on the side of the road. Had it been left on its own, it most certainly wouldn't have survived. However, this lovely woman rescued it and nursed it back to health. These poor flying foxes seem to end up in unfortunate situations, as this one ended up almost drowning in a family's pool. Luckily for the bat, these kind people took it out of the water and saved its life just in time.
Don't you even think about biting me. Hello, mate. You handsome fellow. Actually, his name has to be Montpellier.
This poor elephant fell into a ditch and was struggling to escape. The construction workers that were operating at the site decided to help it using the excavator, and the elephant even showed its gratitude after it got out. This adorable little fox cub was abandoned and stuck under a pile of wood. It never would have survived these harsh conditions on its own, but luckily, these people happened to notice it struggling and decided to save its life. And only a few months later, it's now a happy and healthy fox. These hikers came across a baby squirrel stranded underneath a stick. Even though the stick seemed small to us, the squirrel was powerless and couldn't have made it out alive. But these guys not only saved the squirrel's life, they also adopted the squirrel and built it a whole setup so he could live as well as any squirrel ever has. This person was kind enough to release this poor octopus back into its natural habitat. You can see the octopus immediately looks healthier, and then it puts one of its arms on the person to say thank you before swimming off. This poor leopard got its head stuck in a metal pot and couldn't see or breathe properly. Thankfully though, these brave people managed to get the pot off its head, and the leopard can be seen afterwards, exhausted but alive. Orcas may be the apex predators of the ocean, but they're not invincible. This poor orca was stuck in the ice, unable to make its way out. That is, until these brave souls decided to help it, saving its life in the process.
Ой, сейчас по морде ударит.
This feisty little bobcat got one of its paws stuck in a trap, and it was clearly in a lot of pain. Fortunately, these guys found it, and even though the bobcat was very aggressive, they still managed to get it out of the trap and set it free. Wolves are the kind of animals that are meant to roam freely, which makes these guys releasing this wolf such a beautiful thing to see. Birds are precious creatures, but so many of them die in infancy, so the video of this bird owner and their baby bird warms our hearts. This good boy was stuck at the edge of this sewer and was clearly in big trouble, but the good people making this video alerted local authorities and they saved him. This poor little kitten was all alone and definitely wouldn't have made it out alive had this kind girl not noticed and rescued her.
Oh, meu Deus. Okay.
These guys were exploring an abandoned water park in San Diego when a couple of dogs caught their attention. When they followed them, they realized that a third dog was drowning in a pool nearby, so they immediately saved it from the water. This stray mama dog lives near this man's house, and she always comes to him when she needs food and shelter for her puppies. This adorable little bird couldn't take the scorching heat anymore and decided it was gonna take shelter in the car of these kind people.
I don't know what's going on with this little fella. Is he stunned or is he just escaping the heat? What's going on?
I think he's escaping the heat, mate. Aircon's on.
I'm bloody well, he's trying to steer the bus then.
Animals are so much smarter than we give them credit for. Like this pufferfish asking this diver for help getting a hook out of its mouth.
I just wanted to show you guys the other perspective really quick. Saying goodbye to my friend, and then he swims away. Says thank you to Brittany and I for our help in rescuing him.
It takes nerves of steel to approach a snake, let alone handle and rescue it. But this firefighter was brave enough to rescue it and return it to a safe habitat. This mama dog's puppies were stuck in this pipe with no way of getting out. Helpless, she tried to get the attention of humans, who instantly came to her puppy's rescue. These people set out to save one stray puppy they had received a call about, but ended up finding two more, and they saved all three of them. Animal Rescue received a call about a litter of kittens being thrown in a nearby river. They rushed to the scene to attempt to rescue them. Tragically though, only one of the kittens survived. Animal Rescue in China received reports of a stray dog walking along a river in the heavy snow. They rushed down there to find the poor dog shivering and starving and saved it from the cold. This poor old man lost everything when his house burned down, but somehow he was still happy. That's because he saved the one thing that meant most to him in the entire world, his cat. This poor dog has spent her entire life chained to this wall and was never loved or cared for at all. But these rescuers not only freed her, but took her in and made sure she got the love that she so deserved. Much like the last clip, this dog was tied up and abandoned without food or water. Here she's so malnourished that you can see her ribs. Once again, animal rescuers saved this dog and made sure she got the love and care that she deserved. "85 dogs and puppies and 4 cats were found extremely neglected and living in distressing conditions at a home in England. But thanks to the Animal Rescue Corps and the county sheriffs, the property owner was forced to surrender them. The animals were heroically saved and given immediate medical care. Just witness their incredible transformation and their hopeful journey to find forever homes across the country." Crocodiles, like snakes, are considered very dangerous, but that doesn't mean they don't deserve rescuing too. This crocodile had fallen inside a well and got stuck, until these brave men helped it out. As we saw in the last video, wells can be very tricky for animals to get out of. Thankfully, these caring people were there to help this cat escape. Not one, not two, not even 10, but 108 tortoises were stuck in this well. Saving all of them was a very difficult job, but these kind souls managed to rescue all of them. This python managed to find itself stuck on the roof of a local man. He called the authorities to let them know, and they sent people over to safely retrieve and release the snake somewhere safe. Deer are some of the sweetest creatures on the planet. This poor deer fell into a raging canal and there was no way it was getting out on its own. But that's when animal rescuers jumped in and successfully pulled it out. This cute cat somehow ended up stuck in an agricultural well and she couldn't get out on her own. Luckily, Animal Rescue was there to save the cat. But it's not always just small animals that need saving. This bear was stuck in a trap on top of a tree, and it took an entire team of professionals to save it. Thankfully, they managed to rescue it without anyone getting injured. A poor turtle was under the attack of a tiger shark, and its chances for survival were slim. That is, until these brave guys jumped in and saved it.
Get him out of here, this big damn shark. Alright, we got him.
This baby kitten was all alone by a dumpster, and even a local cat wasn't interested in raising her. So, these lovely people decided to take her in and adopt her as part of their family. It takes a brave soul to walk onto a highway, but this lady did just that in order to save this poor baby kitten who was helplessly stuck there.
Няма, мама. Господи, какво се случва тук? Няма, мама.
people don't like skunks, but that didn't prevent this nice guy from removing a cup that was stuck on a poor skunk's face.
I'm just trying to help you out, homie. Don't try to flex on me. Get out of here. Go.
This nest of birds was stuck in a really tall structure, and their mother wasn't coming back. It's very likely that they would have fallen down and seriously hurt themselves. But thankfully, these construction workers decided to make the dangerous journey to save them themselves. This guy saw this little hummingbird and decided to make a new friend by feeding it.
A new homie. Welcoming into the neighborhood.
A poor little gecko got stuck in some packaging tape and couldn't get out. While some people may have ignored this struggling creature, this one-of-a-kind person noticed and not only took the tape off, but also washed him off too. This good boy was abandoned by his owners and spent days roaming around hungry and cold. Luckily for him, these people rescued him and found someone that was willing to adopt him too. Beaches are supposed to be fun, but this poor osprey fell into the water and couldn't get back out. That's when a brave surfer dove in after him and brought him to shore, saving his life.
Oh my gosh. Is that it, bud?
This mama duck was so worried because her babies had fallen into a grate. So these heroes swooped in and helped rescue all of her babies. They really need to consider making the wells narrower, because at the end of the video it looks like the mother's about to make the same mistake again. This poor shark had washed up on the shore of a beach and it was barely alive. But thankfully, we have kind people like this guy who managed to get it back into the water just in time to save its life. Like most big cats, leopards are pretty dangerous animals, but when one got stuck in this well, fear didn't stop these brave villagers from coming together to save it. This poor jackal fell into a well, and because it was so aggressive, rescuing it was a big challenge. However, these people did not let that stop them from doing what's right, and they ended up pulling it out of the well and setting it free. This part of India sees a lot of animals stuck in wells, like this red sand boa. Thankfully, whenever someone sees an animal in distress, these fine gentlemen are there to save it. Parrots don't usually need rescuing, but when this one did, the fire department was there to make sure it reached safety. This kitten was alone, dirty, and sick before this man brought it home and adopted it. Just a few months later, it's as happy and healthy as any cat could be. Kittens tend to get lost and separated from their mothers, and this kitten was afraid and lonely. Luckily, they managed to catch her and then give her some food and shelter. This baby seal got a bunch of wires stuck around him, but this guy was right there to help him get it all off.
Baby, hey, okay, you can go.
Not only did this guy save this bird, but he also made a new friend for life. Look, we definitely do not suggest that you do this, as polar bears are very dangerous, but seeing this guy feed this polar bear does warm our hearts a little. The guy in this video thought this washed up seahorse was dead until it moved. He immediately put it back in the water and saved its life.
Oh, I'm so happy T's alive.
This tiny pufferfish was washed up on shore because of a strong current, but this kind couple noticed it and put it back in the ocean.
Yeah, he's alive. No.
These bikers stumbled across a baby moose that was extremely thirsty and stopped to give it water and show it some love.
Yeah.
Sloths are surprisingly great swimmers, but this one was too far offshore in a busy boat traffic area. But thankfully for this poor sloth, the boaters realized that this one could use a little help getting somewhere safe, and that's exactly what they did.
Feel like a fish out of water. There you go. Oh, no, you need to do your job. There we go. All right. Yay. Is that good enough for you?
This poor little deer not only lost its mom, but it also fell into a creek trying to look for her and could not climb back out on its own. With mom missing, there was no saving him either, until this guy found the baby deer and decided to help him out of the creek and help him find his mom too.
Okay, relax, I'm putting you down soon. Mom's right here. Okay. Relax. It's your mom. Go get your mom. Go ahead.
Giraffes are so majestic and beautiful, but even the biggest and mightiest need help sometimes. And while it may be hard to help an animal like that, good human beings always find a way. That is exactly what happened when this group of people helped this giraffe out of a deep swimming pool where it had gotten stuck. This man was on a walk with his dog when they found a tortoise laying lifeless on the highway. Appearing dehydrated and exhausted, the kind man gave it a nice cold shower and the tortoise couldn't contain its happiness. This hummingbird looked lifeless when the man found it, but then he decided to show us that a little bit of love and care can go such a long way. With his help and care, the hummingbird was back to flapping its wings in no time. This poor duck was found bleeding and scared in an alley all alone. Understandably hesitant in the first few attempts, the duck finally gave in to the wholesome advances of these people who took the duck into their care.
Don't you want it? Some water?
These guys found this poor little duck trapped in disgusting water. The unhealthy environment could have consumed the duck if left there for too long, so these men decided to go above and beyond to help the duck get back to safety.
ее из зарослей. Она запуталась в сетке.
This majestic whale shark found itself beached and having a hard time getting back into the water. Slowly suffocating, it was only a matter of time before this beautiful creature would die. But then, these people used a forklift to help the whale shark get back into the water. Seeing this stray cat convulsing and in pain will make even the toughest men cry like babies. But seeing its transformation will make you cry even harder. Just watch what some medicine, food, and a lot of love can do. Now, the cat has been given a well-deserved second chance at life. Pigeons often get themselves into sticky situations and tight spots. This one was found on the inside of a wall. Thankfully, the property's owner didn't care about the wall. They just wanted the pigeon to get its freedom. This adorable little cat's requests were answered by this restaurant owner who decided to give it a little taste of what he was cooking through a window. Snakes are amazing creatures, both on land and in the water. But this poor one got itself stuck in some fishing line. Thankfully, these fishermen came to get a hold of the creeper and cut the fishing line off of him.
Bora, peçonha.
This beautiful green bee-eater got mud all over its wings. Unable to fly, the little bird was helpless. Until this fellow found this flightless bird and decided to give it much-needed help. By washing the mud off of its wings, it was only a matter of minutes before the bird was back in the air. All this thirsty little hedgehog needed was a drink of water in his hot and dry surroundings. The poor little thing was in luck as its saviors came along with the hydration it so desperately needed. This martin was too far off in a water body to survive and was destined to drown at any moment. But not on this boater's watch. These people got the martin out of the water and helped it reach the land safely. This building was way too high to jump from, even for a cat, so these friendly neighbors decided not to let it take the fall in the first place. The cat was trapped and rescued onto the rooftop of the building, and the cat got to keep all 9 of its lives. This dog clearly wasn't used to freezing cold environments, as it was almost frozen to death in this icy cold pond. If it weren't for the selfless bravery of the man in this video, the dog could have given into the cold. But thankfully, it was pulled out of the pond and survived. A poor little cat was severely outnumbered by a group of stray dogs, ready to tear it apart. It seemed there were no chances of survival, no chances of fighting back, and no chances of evading either. That was until this van driver pulled up and scared the dogs away from the cat. It was that little cat's lucky day for sure. It looked like it was already too late for this little canine, but upon closer inspection, this man found the dog unconscious. Holding on to this dog's little ray of hope, the man took it back home, warmed it up, and used CPR techniques to bring the dog back until it was all better. This deer must have thought that this was the end for him, as the hard snow built up on his face looked impossible to get off. But the deer hadn't run out of luck yet, as it was found by this passerby who helped to get the snow out of the deer's face, mouth, and ears until it was all fit to run back into the wild again. This bear was sniffing around in the wrong places, and the poor thing accidentally got its head stuck in a pot. This incident caused the bear to go into rampage mode, but the people nearby were unwilling to give up on him, so they pulled the pot off the bear's head and let it run free. This little squirrel surely developed its fair share of communication skills, as it knew exactly how to ask for water when thirsty. This guy also understood the little rodent's plea and helped it to some water from his own water bottle.
That is cute.
A poor baby echidna was completely exhausted from its attempt to cross the creek and got carried away by the high waters. Moments away from drowning, these people found it struggling to stay afloat with water coming out of its nose. That's when these heroes picked up the echidna and put it in a spot where it could dry off and find some nutrition. Despite being great swimmers, sloths can be a little bit too slow when crossing the road on their own. Therefore, a little help is always appreciated. This sloth found help from these people who picked it up and left it on the other side. The sloth then decided to thank the helpers with a pleasant smile. This Arctic fox must have been starving the way it jumped on to devour the food given to it by a stranger. Lucky for the fox, it's going home with a full stomach today. Raccoons often find their way into garbage cans, but sometimes these dumpsters can be too deep for the little critters to crawl out of. That was exactly the case with these 3 raccoons, until this man found the poor trio struggling and decided to do a good deed for nature.
Okay, you're cool. Hey, you're cool too. Everybody out of the pool. Where's the little one? He flipped over the board. Come on, you're good. You're good. All right.
This tiny bird got its wings stuck to a piece of tape hanging outside. Luckily, the people inside noticed and ran to its rescue. The poor bird didn't even bite or try to flee, as if it knew it had the help it needed. It got set free, cleaned, and warmed up to be ready to fly back to freedom. Take a look at these tiny little turtles racing towards the water as soon as they're released into the wild. This starling was sure stuck in a tight spot, and even after a number of attempts by these good people, it seemed impossible to get out. But this starling was not getting abandoned today. The saviors did everything in their power to get the little bird out and finally succeeded.
Here you go.
You made it! Are you okay?
This baby seal was found stuck in the bushes far from the water at the beach. Unclear on how the seal even got there, these guys heard its cries for help. As soon as the seal was located, it was picked up and reunited with the water. This little fawn was found stuck down in the sewer. With the risk of scaring the fawn further into the sewers, the helpers had to be extra careful. With enough patience and care, the fawn was successfully retrieved from the sewer and out in the open. The desert habitat can get way too hot for some fauna in the region. This Arabian wolf was in dire need of some water for drinking and cooling down its body. Luckily, it found this man who helped him drink and shower his body with water to help deal with the heat. A deer's cries for help were heard by this couple, who rushed to help it out of the water before it was too late. Then, the deer rushed towards its saviors as soon as it saw help.
Oh my God, I'm gonna cry.
These donkeys were hungry and freezing out in the cold until these villagers found them and became their helpers. They first helped these poor donkeys with some food, and then they were transported to safety by the help of all these villagers. This dog was moments away from becoming roadkill, but these people found him on the interstate and decided to take him in. Thanks to these people, the little injured puppy was saved and brought into a good home for a good life. This little puppy was lucky to have his cries heard by this group of comrades. Fallen to the bottom of this deep and narrow well, this puppy had no other way out. But these good men took every measure to bring this puppy back to safety. Foxes may be known to be cunning predators, but this poor one had no way out of this canal that it got stuck inside of. Before any more trouble arrived, these guys succeeded in pulling it out. The fox showed a willingness to get help too, as it held really tight to the rope thrown to it.
يلا روح روح هلا يلا روح.
This baby cow was unable to move and was surrounded by water as it got itself stuck upside down in a narrow well. You could see the distress the cow was in by the way it attempted to run off after being pulled out and saved by these good Samaritans. This poor little skunk had a jar stuck to its head. Thankfully, it got noticed from afar, and the skunk had the help it needed in no time. However, this skunk had a different way of showing gratitude as it started chasing its savior.
Okay, he's chasing me. Who gets chased by a skunk?
Which of these heartwarming rescues made you tear up the most? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to drop a like and subscribe with notifications turned on, because you definitely don't want to miss part 2. See you then!